All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're doing part two of this video by Dylan Does Basketball. It's titled The NBA's Biggest Disappointment, and this is about Deandre Ayton. Um, and I have a lot of disdain for this man. But if you haven't seen part one, please watch part one for the context. Where we left off was right where we are giving him a max contract because we're stupid. And it's right after he just quit on our whole team in the playoffs while the Dallas Mavericks destroyed us. So we reward him with money. So let's continue on from yesterday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's do this.
But was still annoyed at the fact Phoenix didn't give him a 5-year deal. Since he was being paid for 4 years and not 5, he lost out on $40 million by not getting an extra year. DA blamed Robert Sarver for this, the Suns owner who would end up getting the boot from the league for being racist as hell. Privately, Coach Monty wasn't happy that the Suns kept Ayton.
No, we shouldn't give him a penny.
He wanted to trade the big fella for Miles Turner, but Phoenix refused. Frustration and momentum was boiling before the 2022-23 campaign, and things wouldn't get much better once the team started playing. Monty and Ayton continued to have problems with each other during the season, even getting involved in a verbal altercation on the sidelines in December 2022. It was clear that the two weren't seeing eye to eye. Now that the Suns weren't winning as much anymore, a spotlight was beginning to shine on Ayton's shortcomings. Throughout his 5-year career thus far, he had never really evolved as a player. He always remained the same guy. He didn't get to the free throw line, never developed an outside shot, relied too heavily on a passing point guard to excel.
Oh yeah, the only time he scored, or still does to this day, is if he spoon feed him. And Chris Paul was pretty good at doing that. So he would just put the ball right in his hands, right where he needed it. And half the time he'd still screw it up. It's just like a caveman could do the job. Just put the ball in the basket. It's like you're right there. You know, he set you up perfect, but he'd still screw it up half the time. But that's the only way he can do it. He has zero offensive creativity and zero defensive hustle.
And he never gave the heart or effort fans wanted to see, like diving for loose balls or hustling for rebounds. He
Look
was
at him.
just a guy coasting off his natural
Look
talent.
at him.
And people were starting to realize that.
Look at
The
that.
Suns managed to crack the playoffs at the 4th seed with 45.
Can we watch that one more time? So y'all know I'm not a hater. I lived with this crap, watching this every day. Look at his hustle.
See, like diving for loose balls or hustling for
I'm just gonna
rebounds.
chill out of bounds.
He was just a
Now I'm
guy
gonna pretend like
coasting
I'm
off
doing
his natural
something.
talent.
Oh,
And people were starting to realize
half
that.
jump.
The Suns managed to crack the playoffs at the 4th seed with 45 wins, with Ayton once again struggling in the postseason. In round 1 against the LA Clippers, Ayton was slammed throughout the series for his lack of aggression and overall soft play. On many instances,
Why would he? This is I'll go continuing off of where I was in the last video. Why would he play now? Why would he play hard now after we paid him when he wasn't playing hard before, trying to earn this contract? So we paid him for not playing hard. What makes you think he's going to play hard now that he's making more money? That's not how it works. You have to prove it first, you know? Ugh.
where he should have thrown the hammer down in the post. He instead softly threw up layups that were spiked out
Oh,
in
yeah.
the air.
Nice one.
While the stats for this series may look passable on paper, in reality,
Nope.
he looks scared and nervous on the floor.
Yeah, I was arguing with some of my friends about this too, because we'd always check his stats. And yeah, sometimes he'd get his 20 and 10. But if you really watch how he's getting that, it's pathetic. He was doing so much damage to our team.
With Kevin Durant and Devin Booker receiving all of the defensive attention, it was Ayton who was supposed to be the X factor, but he shrunk. The Suns managed to defeat the Clippers in 5 though, advancing to play the Nuggets in round 2 where all hell broke loose. Phoenix had championship aspirations, but were slapped in the face by a real contender in Denver. In this 6-game series that the Nuggets won 4-2, Ayton just barely averaged 10 points per game. His passion for the game of basketball had gone down the drain, and it showed with his on and off the court action.
Wait, wait right here. Hey, Aiden, can you please help us? Shake my head. I can't believe the Suns didn't give me a 5-year max contract at basketball. Let me go play some 2K.
After the Suns dropped the first 2 games to the Nuggets and went down 0-2, Game 3 at home was a win-or-die situation. They managed to survive and win Game 3, but it had nothing to do with Ayton, who scored just 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. He was promptly benched by Monty Williams again in the 4th quarter of this game, with Jock Landale replacing him in crunch time. Jock Landale over the #1 pick? You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Ayton took this
At least
benching
Landale
as
will
a shot
try.
to his ego. Not only was he seen ignoring his teammates like Chris Paul on the bench as this happened, but after the game, he refused to speak to the media, storming out of the arena before they could talk to him. Dissing the media is one thing, but dissing your teammates because you're playing like a Pop-Tart is just plain disrespectful. If all this
Disrespect
wasn't
is
bad
the word.
enough, before the game, Ayton was caught playing 2K.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
before a huge playoff game that could decide the season. The big fella wasn't in the gym working, but instead was on the Xbox working on his My Player. And then, in real
Jesus.
life, he scored 4 points.
Oh,
Bro was
man.
focused on the wrong game. In the following Game 4, Ayton continued
Man, I didn't know that one. I didn't know that one. Damn.
to struggle. He got into foul trouble and scored 8 points, while Jokic dropped 53 points on his dome. Jock
Oops.
Landale outplayed him once more. In Game 5, guess what happened? He sucked again, and his team got blown out. DA was completely checked out here. His season ended prematurely, because in Game 6, it was reported that he was out with a rib injury he suffered in Game 5. What's interesting about this injury is that a few Sun sources reported that Ayton actually ruled himself out a few days before tip-off, and didn't even give the
Interesting.
doctors a
Wait, he rolled himself out? Not the trainers?
chance to assess him on game day. This rubbed his teammates like Booker the wrong way. He
Owie,
would have
my
liked to
rib
have seen
hurty.
him tough it out or let the doctors examine him more. Regardless, the Suns got destroyed in Game 6, marking the second year in a row they were blown out in an elimination game at home. Monty Williams was fired a few days after this, with many blaming Ayton as being the driving force behind this move. But not only did the coach go, the #1 pick was on the way out too. Ayton was showing more signs of disdain for his teammates and organization. During the summer when he was playing for Team Bahamas, his home country for the Olympics, he called his teammates on that squad the best he's ever had. He
Oh,
further
nice.
talked about how much he appreciated them for having each other's backs and sticking together.
Oh,
a
come
shot at
on.
his son's teammates?
Come on.
Maybe.
He didn't have any of the Suns' backs. What a fucking piece of shit.
Maybe not. But an interesting quote nonetheless. In late September 2023, Deandre Ayton was traded to Portland in a 3-team deal that gave the Suns a new starting center in Yusuf Nurkic.
Yep.
In his first interview with the Blazers,
Hey, man, Nurkic is not like God's gift to basketball by any means, but the guy plays hard. He hustles, he plays defense, he gets rebounds, he cares. Like, he's alive, he's not like dead inside. I don't care what Ayton's potential is or was. I take Nurkic any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Ayton hinted he had requested a trade from Phoenix, thanking the Suns for quote-unquote being accommodating to his wishes. Even after they gave him his max money, even after they fired the coach he hated, he still wanted to go. In
Yep.
Portland, things haven't gotten much better for him. The man who proudly nicknamed himself Dominatin is having one of the worst seasons of
I bring dominance. My name is Dominatin. What you, Braun? I'm chosen. I'm the king. I'm the GOAT. Man. At least LeBron has done some shit. What have you done, Ayton? You're fucking trash. Dominating. What have you dominated? What have you dominated? You haven't won anything. You've been dominated. People dominate you. Shit.
his career. His points per game are near the lowest they've ever been, with the rest of his statistical categories showing no improvement. His free throw attempts are disgustingly low, standing at a mind-boggling 1.3 per game, which is fifth.
What? A center averaging... So he doesn't even average getting to the line once per game? 1 point whatever? Really? What a softie.
Lowest in the league out of all centers. His field goal percentage is the most inefficient it's been since his second season. Over 6 years, Ayton's made little
Just
to no
dunk it,
progression
man.
in his game. But his poor statistics don't tell the full story for how disappointing he's been. According to an article released by The Athletic, DA's first few months in Portland were highlighted by tardiness and tantrums, with one sports writer comparing Ayton to Hassan Whiteside, a former Blazers center who stuffed the stat sheets but had little impact on winning. If you ask Ayton, though, he'll tell you criticism like this is unfair. In January 2024, when asked about his lack of improvement as a player, he responded by saying, "I got nothing to prove in this league. I'm a max player, and I'll continue to be."
Wow. So I mean, if anybody gives him a big contract after this, and Portland, I'm so sorry, you're stuck with our trash. I mean, what else does the guy have to say to prove it? I got nothing to prove in this league. He hasn't won anything, mind you, never won a championship, never won any accolades whatsoever, but he's got nothing to prove. He's a max play. I'm a max player. So he's saying, I'm getting paid as much as you can get paid, and I'll continue to be a max player. So he's just saying, as long as I'm getting paid a lot of money, I got nothing to prove. Good guy. Good guy. If I was having some beers with him, I'd probably punch him in the face by the end of the night.
Be a max player. Over the years, it's become exactly clear the type of player Ayton is. That being a lazy, unmotivated waste of potential. And it ain't just the coaches or media who notice this. His teammates have too. In November 2023, Devin Booker played against his former colleague and gave him a backhanded compliment after the game.
I'm happy we came out with the win. He played extra hard tonight. I seen that, and my challenge for him is to play like that every night.
Damn.
Nice.
Shots fired. Patrick Beverley, a veteran guard known for his tough mentality and hard play, said in May 2023 that 50% of NBA players don't love basketball.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that Deandre Ayton is one of them. The non-stop video games, lackadaisical effort on the court, undisciplined defense, poor development since year one. Playoff implosions, and reported tardiness and laziness all point to it. Deandre Ayton's basketball story is the tale of a man given all of the physical attributes to succeed, only to fail to reach his ceiling solely due to a lack of mental toughness.
Yeah, it's all
What
mental.
he wanted when he arrived in the league was a max contract, and once he got it, his work was done. So many other players would kill for this guy's God-given durability, wingspan, and frame. Stars who spend years without having the proper supporting cast would have loved to have a team as talented as the ones he had in Phoenix. Deandre Ayton was given it all, but he squandered what could have been a superstar career because he chose comfort and luxury over blood, sweat, and tears. He is the perfect example of how gifted talent can only take you so far. What makes the difference in the NBA is not—
But it took him as far as he wanted to go. And that's the problem. We didn't listen to the early signs. The early signs were all he cares about is money. He doesn't care about winning. So we got all these guys. I point back to Ben Simmons again, who they got what they wanted. They got their max contract. They have, they have amazing wealth now, life-changing wealth, something they can pass on, generational wealth. And all they had to do was play basketball for a couple years, as a pro and get that max contract. And once they got that max contract, they already won. They cheated the system. They beat it. So that's why I always get pissed off when we pay these guys this much money, because if someone else is willing to do it, let them go, pay somebody else who's hungry. But we keep doing this and it's getting worse. And the salaries are getting higher, and I don't see this problem getting any better. Everybody is just making $40 million a year at this point. It's crazy. All you have to do is play 1 year. Play 1 year. 40 mil? That's generational wealth right there. It's insane.
not just raw skill. Rather, having a passion for the game and a hard work ethic to go along with it is what truly separates the legends from the forgotten. And Ayton, who could have gone down as a legend, will instead be forgotten.
Man, that was a cool video. Took me down memory lane on Deandre Ayton. I am not a fan. I'm so sorry for Portland. Imagine losing Dame and you gain Aiton, like a quick turnaround like that. Like that sucks. I feel bad for Portland fans. But anyways, let me know what you think about the video. What are your opinions on DeAndre Ayton? And yeah, link to the original video from Dylan will be down below. And if you want to shoot me a like and discuss this topic down below, let's do it in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you like the content and all that good stuff. I'm supposed to say at the end of the video. I'll see you all tomorrow for the next video. Peace out.